Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB Daily Fantasy Show for today, the 27th of May. I'm going to take a look at everything you need to know to help you have success in your daily fantasy baseball games at DraftKings today. I'm going to start with the pitchers. The obvious one at the top for me is Felix Hernandez today for Seattle at 11,900. Felix feasts on the week. He gets the Twins, who have the tied third lowest run score in baseball this year, but they remain 7th for strikeouts at Safeco Field, which, as we know, is a pitcher's ballpark. Felix's strikeouts are not what they once were, but 2 starts ago he managed a 9 strikeout performance against the Angels, which is impressive in itself as they strike out less than anyone in baseball. I think Felix will give you solid production tonight. Masahiro Tanaka of the New York Yankees for 10,400. The Rays are a top 5 offense when it comes to strikeouts. The Trop is a power-sapping park, even for the homer-happy Rays. Tanaka looked to right the ship last time when he shut down the Athletics for 7 innings of 1-run ball. He's not elite for strikeouts, but he's not bad either. He pitched a 7 shutout inning, 8 strikeout gem his last trip to Tropicana Field, and I think Tanaka looks alright tonight as well. More down the bargain basement if you want to pay up for hitters, because there's a lot of premium hitters today. Joe Kelly of the Boston Red Sox for 6,400. He was excellent last time. I posted him as a selection that day, his first start back from the DL, with 7 strikeouts in 6 2/3 against the Indians. Toronto is a scary matchup, and they did score 7 off of Kelly prior to the DL stint in April. If we assume he wasn't right due to injury, coupled with the Jays being a top 5 strikeout lineup in baseball this year, then it's a fairly high ceiling play, but we've got to be aware that there is a low floor there as well, but it is a fairly bargain price. And also for a bargain price, Matt Shoemaker of the Angels for 6,100. It's another one that's hard to trust but does have upside. Shoemaker isn't usually a strikeout pitcher, but he comes into this game off the back of a 12 strikeout, 7 1/3 innings shutout performance against the Baltimore Orioles. It's a nice park in Anaheim. A lot of the hitters with the platoon over Shoemaker, such as Rasmus and White, aren't hitting well. Luis Valbuena has had a homer in each of the last 2 games, though. Shoemaker was terrible prior to being sent down to the minors, but again, this has it's got a high ceiling if he can repeat the Baltimore performance against the lineup in Houston that strikes out more than any other in baseball. But the floor is low because his ERA for his career against Houston is over 5.5. But as I say, the upside's there as well, so maybe make certainly Kelly and Shoemaker are worth a look in tournament plays. Stacks of the day. I mean, the day is fairly pitching rich today, so there's not a massive amount of stack options. Obviously, it is a Coors Field day. Hitters are usually all in play at Coors, and some exposure there is probably going to be wise. Chatwood has struggled there pitching for Colorado, and the Rockies have destroyed Kane both times they've seen him this year. But you're not going to need me to highlight players in that matchup. I quite like a mini stack of Milwaukee Brewers. They face John Lamb of the Reds in their hitter-friendly home park at Miller Park. They hit lefties particularly well, and they will also get a crack at an awful Reds relief core as well. I think shortstop Jonathan Villar for 3,700. He hits left-hand as well. He had a home run yesterday. He's 295 with 2 homers this year, but he does have 15 stolen bases as well, so he does give you upside if he swipes a bag or 2. And I'd couple him up with outfielder Ryan Braun for 5,100. He's got 2 home runs off of John Lamb. He hit one yesterday as well. 361 with 9 homers this year. I'll also be looking to stack some Diamondbacks. Christian Friedrich is not a good pitcher for San Diego, dating back to his Rockies performances. It's got a career ERA of 5.65 to back that up. Arizona do hit left-handed pitching well. I will start in the outfield with Yasmani Tomas for 4,700. He's hitting 278 with 6 home runs this year. I will add Paul Goldschmidt at first base for 5,500. He's 240 with 8 home runs this year. Catcher Wellington Castillo is another one that hits left-handed pitchers particularly well for 4,100. He's 271 with 7 home runs this year. And second baseman Jean Segura for 5,000. He's 318 with 5 home runs this year. All of those have got the platoon in the matchup as well. I wouldn't put anyone off a Mariners stack or a right-handed batters from Detroit stack either, but I didn't like those enough to actually sort of put them up as a selection. As for foundation players today, the players we should be using as the foundation to build a winning lineup. At first base, we have to have David Ortiz of Boston. He's 5,000 today. Puppy's crushing right-handed pitching. Sanchez has had some issues getting left-handed batters out. We know Rogers sent us a nice part. Puppy's 337 with 12 homers this year. Second baseman Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros for 4,900. If Shoemaker does struggle, and we know he's had consistency issues, he's got a home run off of Matt Shoemaker. He's hitting 311 with 9 home runs and 15 stolen bags this year. Third baseman, let's get some cause exposure. Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies for 5,500. He's hitting 285 with 14 home runs this year. He does have 2 home runs off of Matt Cain as well. And as I say, it's Coors Field. At shortstop, also qualifies at third, is Manny Machado of the Baltimore Orioles for 4,800. He has 2 home runs off of Trevor Bauer. He's a 309 hitter with 13 home runs this year. Enjoys the platoon in this matchup. And in the outfield, I'll take Ian Desmond of the Texas Rangers for 5,100. It's a great park. He has the platoon advantage. 294, 6 home runs, 9 stolen bases for upside as well against a poor Pittsburgh battery. We know Nisi's not a great pitcher. Desmond offers you a potential for all-round production today. As for my value players to finish off your lineups, at catcher we'll go with Wellington Castillo of Arizona for 4,100. He hits lefties particularly well, 275, 7 homers this year. My first baseman is Justin Bour of the Miami Marlins for 3,500. He's hitting 258 with 9 home runs this year. He's got a platoon advantage in the matchup over Williams Perez, who has yet to prove he can cut it at major league level, as shutting down Philly twice isn't that impressive. He had 6 earned runs in his other start against the Pittsburgh Pirates. At second base, also qualifies at third, is Derek Dietrich, also of the Marlins for 3,400. He also enjoys platoon in the matchup, hits at the top of the lineup for a 302 average with 2 long balls this year. At third base, I'll take Travis Shaw of the Boston Red Sox for 3,500. He does hit lower in the lineup than we'd ideally like usually, but he does have the platoon advantage in a favourable matchup against Sanchez in a nice park. He's 299 with 6 home runs this year. My shortstop can be Jonathan Villar of the Milwaukee Brewers for 3,700. He hits from the right side of the platoon, 295, 2 homers, 15 swipes on the year. Had a home run yesterday. Alemis Diaz also qualifies for a much cheaper price here, but I put him up every day, so I fancied a change, to be honest. And in the outfield, I found outfield value very hard today. I think you're going to need to pay the money in your outfield. Michael Bourne of Arizona for 3,200. Not a confident pick, really. He hits from the wrong side of the platoon in the matchup. As I say, value is scarce in the outfield. He is hitting 400 in 7 games since signing on with the Diamondbacks. And that's all I have for you today. Best of luck with your lineups, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today, and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video, and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups, and have a great day.